People who were missing as a child. What happened? I was 6 when I went missing, though I didn't even realize I was missing until someone found me. It was the county fair in mid-July, hot enough to burn your shoulders, and the air smelled like fried dough, sunscreen, and hay. My mom was working a booth for the local animal shelter, so she dropped me off at the kids' activity tent. It wasn't anything fancy, just some coloring pages, juice boxes, and a few volunteers making balloon dogs. I was happy and completely at ease. Then a man came up, khaki shorts, polo shirt tucked in too neatly, oversized sunglasses that covered half his face. He crouched beside me like he belonged there and asked if I wanted to see real puppies. Said there was a special adoption event happening just behind the big tent. It didn't seem strange. My mom worked with dogs, so seeing puppies at the fair made perfect sense. He reached out his hand, and I took it. We walked past the food trucks, slipped through a gap in the fence, and headed toward a quiet vendor lot behind the fairgrounds. The whole way there, he kept saying things like, "We've got to be quick and they're sleepy so we can't stay long." But when we got there weren't any puppies, just a silver car, already running, parked by the edge of the lot. He opened the back door and told me to hop in and wait while he went to grab a water bowl. That's when something in me froze. The air conditioning was blasting, the car smelled like old fast food, and there weren't any crates or leashes, just a wrinkled hoodie in the front seat and a pile of wrappers on the floor. I didn't get in. His tone suddenly changed. He looked at me and said sharply, "Get in, now!" Right then, I heard a woman shouting across the lot. I turned and saw her, fast, angry footsteps headed straight toward us. It was the woman from the lemonade stand. I hadn't even noticed she was watching. The man didn't respond. He just turned and ran. She pulled me behind her, yelled for help, and within seconds, other people started running over. Someone wrote down the license plate. Someone else called the police. My mom showed up minutes later, frantic and pale, crying like I'd never seen her cry before. It turned out the man had no connection to the fair. No badge, no credentials, just someone who slipped in unnoticed. At the time, it felt like a strange moment that ended quickly, but to the adults around me, it was almost something else entirely. He was never caught. We didn't go back to the fair the next year or the one after that, but the woman who stepped in, her name was Kendra, started walking me to school every morning until my mom felt like the world was safe again. And that silver car, I still see it in dreams. Sometimes I wake up thinking I got in, that in some version of that day I vanished completely. But I didn't, because someone was paying attention. And sometimes, you don't even realize you're missing until someone brings you back. The fair rolled out new safety protocols the next summer. Staff had ID badges. Entrances were tighter. Volunteers wore neon vests. One of the new posters read, "Every child is everyone's child." At school, kids started whispering the story like it was folklore. You know the kid who almost got taken? That was me. I'd walk past them in the hallway, wondering if they had any idea just how close it was. I never said much about it, but my mom did. She talked about it at PTA meetings, on Facebook, to every parent who would listen. I remember her telling a group of new moms, "You always think you'll recognize danger, but danger doesn't growl, it smiles." Years later, I joined a college program that teaches kids how to recognize unsafe situations. On my first day, I asked the group, "If someone offers you puppies, what do you do?" One girl raised her hand and said, "Say no and tell a grown-up." Another kid added, "Unless they have the puppy, then ask if it's vaccinated." They all cracked up, and so did I, because not all monsters hide in closets. Some wait outside in broad daylight, wearing a smile and carrying a plan. They don't expect you to say no, but someone always has to. Some kids get lucky, and some grow up to be the reason others learn what to watch for.